Do you know something about the cars?
So cars are a very important vehicles in our life because it is our day-to-day life. It can be personal or be rented or be booked as a taxi or purposely known in foreign countries as cab in England, I think. So it is very useful in our day-to-day life because it is faster than bicycle, motorcycle, and also walking. Also, roads have been built now,
Yes.
and the most interesting and there is one other thing about cars that they come in three different categories. One is diesel powered, one is electric powered, and one is hybrid. So first we will go with the diesel power. So diesel powered cars actually means that these cars engines are actually built in such a way that they can turn diesel into fuel, means petroleum, diesel, or in foreign it is known as gas. So these are known as gas cars, and these are now the most commonly found cars. As for the Ford Mustang and Dodge Challenger Demon, these are all gas cars, and some people also know this as gas beasts because they are very heavy. And Ford Mustang is actually a muscle car, and muscle cars is a type of car which is very heavy, and because of its weight, it moves not like a supercar which can go in a light speed. I think it can go in a normal faster than an average car.
Okay.
But the main problem with these heavy cars is that they actually spend a lot of gas in making energy.
Oh my God! You have lots of information.
That is why some people doesn't want to buy a Mustang, or if someone is a true American patriot and loves muscle cars, then you would certainly buy a Ford Mustang.
Okay.
Then there is a Ford GT Ford GT from 1944 to 2017. There are three models. One 1944 model Ford GT, 2006 Ford GT, and 2017 Ford GT and Ford GTR. So aside from the Ford 2006 and 1944, I think the 2017 Ford GT and GTR are the most popularly known today because even though they are very heavy, they have good handling which can be used in track cars. So this is about gas cars. Now in this category we learned about muscle cars and track cars. So now we can move on to supercars. So supercars are like Lamborghini, Aventador, Huracan, Countach. So the first, not the first, but what I recently know is that Lamborghini Huracan was the first ever-looking iconic Lamborghini, which we know front bumper, which we know today, is the Lamborghini Huracan. Then came I think the Lamborghini Huracan Spider. Then came the Lamborghini Aventador. Then came the Lamborghini SV. Then in 2019, the Lamborghini company got its first ever its own track record, which was earned by building this car. And this car is none other than the one and only Lamborghini Aventador SVJ, which is a modified version of the Aventador SV. So what improvement they made is the aerodynamic wing.
Oh wow, nice.
And then they made the car in all-wheel drive, which means it can be controlled more easily.
Yeah, of course.
And now it has an own record of its track. Then there is another rival of this Lamborghini company is the Ferrari.
Okay.
So this rivalry started when the founder of Lamborghini. So first, Lamborghini was a tractor building company. So when the Lamborghini's founder bought a Ferrari car,
of course,
then he found that the that it is not working well. Then he complained to the Ferrari company. Then the company rejected his complaint.
Okay.
Then he found out that the gear that the Ferrari used in the supercars were actually, it was also available in his tractor.
Wow.
And this started the rivalry between Lamborghini and Ferrari. And now I think Lamborghini is in the top section.
Yeah.
It is high up than the Ferrari. Then Ferrari is also a company famous like Lamborghini. These two companies are both in Italy. So this is also a type of supercar, and they produce a hypercar. In Lamborghini 2022, they produced the Lamborghini Countach, was even faster than SVJ. It was not even an Aventador. They kept the same model as the earlier Lamborghinis, meaning before the Huracan.
Okay.
Then after that, Ferrari, we were in the Ferrari topic. Ferrari is another super fast car, and most people think that it is better than a Lambo, because Lambo is slower in stock version and Ferrari is even higher than that.
Yeah.
Then they are the same stats. As I said, the gear was same in Lamborghini and Ferrari, so there is nothing much to say about Ferrari, and I don't even know much about Ferrari because I'm not that Ferrari guy. Then in England they produced the McLaren. So in 2015 they gave birth to the most iconic hypercar, I think, which might be the McLaren P1. And McLaren P1 is but the fastest member of its McLaren family. Because after 2015, the McLaren P1 got a modification. It got the modification of GT, McLaren P1 GT. Then after that GTR. So the special thing about McLaren is that McLaren P1 GT, P1 and P1 GT, P1 GTR were both track cars. Then they produced in 2019 they produced the McLaren Senna, which is another member of the McLaren family, which was as good as the McLaren P1 in track. Also, McLaren P1 is also has a higher top speed, and it can also beat Lambos in other cases. And then in 2020 they released the McLaren 765 LT.
Okay.
Then there was another modified version of the 765 LT which came out in 2021. It is called the 765 LT Spider, which is also a modification of the car. Also, another noticeably thing is that track cars are usually used for Formula 1 tracks, and these are not used in long straight line races like highway races, because their top speed is actually a bit lower than the Lambos and Ferraris. Because if they have a top speed of upper than 400 kilometers, then they would crash in the track.
Okay.
So that is why the engineers who made them actually kept this speed under 300 kilometers per hour to actually handle it very good in the track. But what they did in 765 LT and McLaren P1 Speedtail is that they increased the top speed and they declared and confirmed that these were not made for the tracks, because they were very poor at handling. Not poor actually the Speedtail was very poor. Then comes the Frenchman, also known as the Bugatti. Then Bugatti is another story.
Wow.
Because Bugattis come in a very early version. Then Bugatti released his first futuristic car in 2017, I think. Not futuristic actually, more sporty look. The Bugatti Veyron Super Sport. Then in 2018, modified the Veyron with a more powerful engine and more
Okay.
horsepower,
Wow.
and named it the Bugatti Chiron.
Yes, carry on.
And then in 2009 it was made in 2018 the Chiron. Then came the Bugatti Chiron Super Sport 300 plus.
Oh.
Then I think came the track car Bugatti Chiron Per Sport. Then
Wow.
came another track car Bugatti Divo in 2019. Then in 2020 Bugatti released another model which I forgot the name. Then in the 2021 a long-awaited hypercar tracked car was released. It was a mixed. It was a properly built for track and also long straight races like highway races, because it had a very high top speed and also good handling, and it was named the Bugatti Bolide, which
Okay.
and the word bolide comes from a French word means le bolide, which means which translated in English means a race car.
Okay.
So this was a huge success for Bugatti to make a both all-rounder. Then came, and then now there is another car which is called the Chevrolet Chevy Corvette. So in 2021, Chevrolet released Corvette Z06, which was bit slower than Lambo and other, because it didn't have a good top speed, but it also was a handling car, in my opinion, good handling car in track. So I don't know much about the Chevrolet company.
Wow.
So that is why I drop it here. Then there is another company of Sweden called the Koenigsegg.
Okay.
Then Koenigsegg released Koenigsegg Agera R, Koenigsegg Agera RS, Koenigsegg Agera Ghost, Koenigsegg Jesko, and Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute.
Okay.
So Koenigsegg Agera R is a highway race car, because it has a very high top speed compared to the Veyron. Not very much high speed, but it has a okay speed of 260 miles per hour. Then came the Agera RS, which was good in highway races and also good track car. Also, then came and remember that all these cars that I mentioned were in twin turbocharged.
Oh.
So, and these were all in all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive. So, then Koenigsegg Agera Ghost was the only car that I know had a supercharged aspiration, because its acceleration wasn't that good. Then came the Jesko in 2020, I think. That it was a huge success because it was the upgraded version of the Agera RS with 78% of handling, good acceleration, higher top speed. And then came the Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute, which was a modified version of the Jesko without the wing. But there was a one downside, that it was not a track car. Even though Jesko was a both highway and track car. So, but Jesko was only a highway race car, because it had a superior top speed, but low handling. So that is why it is in the highway category. Then now we move to the electric cars. So electric cars compared to the gas cars, electric cars actually run on electricity or battery. So Tesla and Rimac Nevera, Tesla Model S Plaid and Tesla Roadster have high acceleration compared to the gas cars, because obviously electric cars have greater acceleration than the gas cars. Also
Okay.
with Rimac Nevera, but Tesla is pretty far back in braking. compared to the Rimac Navara.
Mm-hmm.
So now we will move to the hybrid car. So hybrid car is actually a combination of electric and gas cars.
Oh my God.
Like Lamborghini Sian is actually a gas and electric hybrid car, which can both run, which can be charged with, and the battery can be charged with petrol or it can be charged with other means of electric chargers. Then these are also very fast, but I still didn't know about Lamborghini Sian, so that is about my topic.
Okay.
I have to end my speech here.
Thank you, thank you. Actually, how have you got this sort of informations in your life? Actually, the collection of car.
Actually, from my born, I was interested in cars.
Oh my God.
From I was young, my mother actually, my mother and my mother's brother actually gifted me with tons of Hot Wheels. And with those designs, I was very interested, and then I started to come with grew the interest in cars, and then I learned about them. Then in one of my games, there is another game called Roblox, and in this game, it is actually a social gaming platform where there are over 40 million games. So there is one game called Driving Empire, which has recently got an update. So it has actually many cars, from bike to helicopters and yachts. But mostly it is focused on cars. So it has Bugatti Chiron, Bugatti Divo, Bugatti Passport, Bugatti Chiron Super Sport, Bugatti and coincided Jesco, Bugatti Bolide, Lamborghini Sian, which recently added McLaren Senna, McLaren P1, McLaren P1 GT, McLaren P1 GTR. The GTR is actually limited vehicle, which is now got off sale. So actually, there are so many cars, and so many cars have gone off sale. Like there is a two earlier versions of the Bugatti EVR, and the first model I think of Bugatti, then Chevy Corvette, and then many more.
Yeah, I can understand.
So I cannot. When I started to search this on Google, I came with gameplay. Then when the YouTube found out that I was interested, then it gave me similar contents of real life cars, like what is evolution of Bugatti, Lamborghini, Koenigsegg, Ferrari, Tesla. With this I learned about more models of the famous cars, car companies. So with this.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'm gonna ask you a question. So have you got this sort of platform to realize and to express your feeling in earlier?
No, actually I used to tell my parents, but they never gave it more importance.
So after coming here and you can express your own point of view, what do you think about it?
Very nice.
Very nice. So you can also, I think, always guide to others to join and become like you. Okay, thank you for joining with us.